need to start locking up judges who violate American civil rights. It's called deprivation of rights under color law. What we know is the federal court has been playing games with the most vulnerable people's rights for a long time. I have won cases in the 2nd Circuit, in the 4th Circuit, in the DC Circuit Court, all without a lawyer. Not because I'm a legal genius, because I'm certainly not. It's because when you can prove basic due process suppression so egregious, then yeah, you can win in the circuit court. But when you get to the circuit court and it gets remanded back to the lower court, more time is deteriorating the case. And that's what they want. They want your case to get thrown out because they don't want to be dealing with you like your rights are optional. This same targeted discrimination happened in 1919 and it's still happening in 2019. Same discrimination, different year. It's easy to prove if one set of people are getting rights and another set of people are not. It's easy to prove there's no path to access for people who cannot afford a lawyer, because simply judges are not doing the same targeted discrimination to people who can afford a lawyer. There's no path to access. You cannot have one set of rule books for people who have a lawyer and another set of rule books for people who are trying their best to navigate through a very complex system. And it was designed to be complex, to deny the poorest members of society equal access to rights. Okay, so this is what the problem is. When you have judges who are willfully targeting the most vulnerable members of society, when you have judges that follow the federal rules of procedures, when you have lawyers, but though the rule book, the federal rule of procedure rule book is out the window when it's a pro se. So there's no way to navigate if you're going to have rights or not. Now, you don't have to believe me. I want you to just believe your own eyes. Judge Richard T. Leon has not only discriminated against me, but he discriminated against another African-American woman. The same targeted discrimination happened to 2 African-American women who did not know each other at the same time. With the same judge, he decided to dismiss the case with prejudice at the complete stage of the case, not allowing any discovery, not allowing any access. He would to stall the case into the court system for 2 whole years. What does that do to your case? Well, without any path to access to discovery, without any path to preserving evidence, your case is destroyed by the deterioration of time. Not because you didn't run to the courthouse in a timely fashion, but because the judge just simply did not believe that your rights matter. The fact that the judges in America believe your rights are optional. That is what is so outrageous. That is what is so cruel. From 2005 to 2015, Judge Richard J. Leon has been disproportionately assigned to pro se cases, especially African-American women cases. Judge Richard Leon repeatedly stonewalled cases of the most vulnerable Americans. For years, me and Ms. Smith wrote judicial misconduct complaints 2 days apart. These complaints were dismissed 3 days apart, saying that we didn't prove a pattern of discrimination. Now, you know, judicial misconduct complaints are kept in secrecy. They are not even scannable. They do not even have the judge's name. They have numbers. Why? How did I find Mrs. Smith's complaint? I wanted to see what my complaint looked like on our court website. So I was reading her complaint, was thinking it was my complaint, until I was like, no, this is it. This is not me. And then I certainly realized, oh, this is another African-American woman besides Judge Leon, because it took me 5 seconds to go into Pacer to pull up her complaint, because it was at the same time, the same allegations. You could easily find out with the same judge. But guess who had this information? Chief Judge Meredith Garland. Now, the District Court of DC is not unlike other courts in America. This abuse is institutionalized. This abuse is happening all over America. But when these rights that Dr. King died for is denied, not based on their merits, but they are denied because you don't have enough money to enforce your rights. That is what injustice looks like. That is what due process suppression is. Why does this matter? This matters because people have to understand, without access to your rights, you are a visible minority. And it doesn't matter if you're white, black, or any other race. This type of target discrimination is happening all across America. It's happening at a disproportionate amount towards African Americans. But it is also very well happening to white Americans who the federal court just decides they are like trash, or the federal court just decides that their voice doesn't matter. Just look at the docket. These judges are not even trying to hide their shame. They're openly crazy, just making up laws that do not exist. Now let's turn to right here in this slide. You will see the case of Hardaway versus Equity Residential judge who decided to dismiss Angeline's case, an ADA case, fair housing case, and claimed Angeline, who is a pro se, didn't show any administrative remedies. Now, why is that significant? Because that rule only applies to employment lawsuits, not fair housing, not ADA, but employment. These are highly educated constitutional judges. This is not Joe Smo from down the street. These are constitutional judges. And the fact that she is a chief judge, she knows the law. She decided to just throw up anything to dismiss the case. Now, would you have thought that a judge was wanting to obey the ADA would not have ignored Angeline's reasonable accommodation plan, but of course, appointed her a lawyer. But the judge decided her rights was optional. Now let's turn to Judge Richard J. Leon. In that slide right there, you see Judge Richard J. Leon dismissed Angeline's Section 504 ADA and fair housing complaint with prejudice for lack of jurisdiction when all the events occurred in Washington, D.C. And the fact that it's an ADA case, it goes to federal court anyway, or Section 504. All these are federal claims. You're telling me Judge Richard J. Leon did not know what he was doing was unlawful? Are you telling me Judge Richard J. Leon, a federal court judge in Washington, D.C., didn't know you can't dismiss the case for lack of jurisdiction at a complaint stage in the case? Come on. This is what racism looks like. This is what racism feels like. The D.C. Circuit ruled that Judge Richard J. Leon's abuse was a gross abuse of discretion, which is criminal, because he did it willfully. He had never done this to any other person that didn't have a lawyer. So it's targeted racism or classism or whatever you want to call it. But you must not call it a legal error, because it was not a legal error. He knew exactly what he was doing. It's targeted discrimination, it's targeted ableism, it's targeted racism, it's targeted abuse of power. And this type of nonsense needs to end. They're not even hiding their shame. You know there's not going to be any repercussions. What this tells you, these judges do not see us as Americans. These judges see us as others, as people who do not deserve basic human rights, let alone rights that is demanded and mandated by the Constitution. It's very easy for me to prove that these judges are racist and classist and ableist, because they've never done this type of target discrimination to anyone who could afford a lawyer, to anyone that wasn't a member of the vulnerable class. This is racism. This is what it feels like. This is what it looks like.